A woman will never stand in front of you and say, "I want you right now." That moment doesn't exist. But make no mistake, she does have a way of saying it, in her own secret language. And most men never notice. That hidden language is wrapped inside compliments. Phrases that sound harmless, polite, even casual, but in reality, they're coded signals. They're invitations in disguise. And if you don't understand the psychology of attraction, you'll miss the moment completely. Think about it. How many times has a woman complimented you and you just smiled, brushed it off as nothing? How many times did you assume it was just manners, just politeness? The truth is different. When desire is alive, a woman's compliments are no longer innocent. They're tactical. They're tests. They are her way of opening the door to intimacy without ever saying the words directly. And today, I'm going to reveal the 7 most powerful phrases, the 7 hidden compliments that every man must recognize. These aren't just words. They are psychological signals, subtle triggers that, once you learn to spot them, will change the way you see women forever. And the very first one is also the most dangerous compliment of them all. And before we dive into the very first phrase, the most dangerous compliment of them all, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Because on this channel, I reveal the hidden psychology women use every single day. Subscribe now, so you never miss the signals most men will overlook. And now, let's get into the very first phrase, the most dangerous one, the one that almost no man knows how to handle. When a woman looks at you and says, "You're the most dangerous when you're silent," most men laugh it off, or they try to explain themselves, or even break the silence with nervous chatter. But what she's really saying is something very different. She's not afraid of you. She's fascinated. Your silence unsettles her. It creates tension. And that tension turns into desire. Psychology shows us this: women are wired to react to mystery, to emotional stillness. When you don't reveal everything, when you hold back, you project power, you project control, and silence becomes your weapon. She starts thinking, why doesn't he react? What is he feeling? What is he hiding? That uncertainty triggers attraction on a primal level. So when you hear this phrase, don't explain yourself. Don't rush to fill the silence. Hold your frame. Let her sit in that curiosity, because a man who controls his words controls her emotions. And that's why silence is dangerous. Not because it threatens her, but because it pulls her in, deeper and deeper, without her even realizing it. The second phrase you must never ignore is when she says, "You're different from other guys." Most men hear this and feel proud. They smile, they say thank you, and they think it's just a nice compliment. But in reality, this phrase is loaded with psychology. She's not just comparing you to other men, she's telling you that she can't put you in the same box as the rest. And that excites her subconscious more than she wants to admit. Here's what's happening inside her mind. Women are constantly filtering. Filtering for strength. Filtering for leadership. Filtering for the rare man who breaks the pattern. When she says you're different, it means you've already triggered her attraction system. You've escaped the category of ordinary, and that difference, that unpredictability, makes her feel hooked. But here's the mistake most guys make. They take it as validation. They say, "Really, wow, thanks," or they start chasing harder, trying to prove why they're so special. That destroys the frame. The high-value response is this: don't seek approval, own it. If she says you're different, look her in the eye and say, "I know. That's why you're still here." Short, bold, and controlled. You're not thanking her. You're confirming what she already feels, while keeping the upper hand. Remember, this being different is not about dressing odd, or acting weird. It's about being rare. Rare in your confidence, in your calm, in your ability to lead. And once a woman realizes she can't easily categorize you, she starts to feel something she can't control, desire mixed with curiosity, and that is exactly where you want her to be. The third phrase, and one of the most overlooked, is when she says you have a sexy mind. Now stop and think about that for a moment. She's not talking about your looks, your muscles, or your style. She's talking about your thoughts. And when a woman shifts from complimenting your appearance to complimenting your mind, that is a major signal. Physical attraction is surface level, but psychological attraction goes much deeper. It means she's already hooked in ways she can't easily explain. From a psychological standpoint, This is powerful. Evolution has wired women to connect intelligence with status, leadership, and survival. A sharp mind means problem-solving, influence, and control. When she calls your mind sexy, what she's really saying is, your ideas are imprinting on me. Your words are leaving a mark I can't ignore. Most guys ruin this moment. They joke it off, or they act shy, or they say, "Oh, really, thanks." But a high-value man knows how to escalate from here. If she's opening the door to mental attraction, you push it further, you challenge her, you share a bold opinion, a polarizing perspective, something that makes her feel your edge. Because once you stimulate her mind, her body naturally follows. Here's the secret. Women are not addicted to looks. They're addicted to the emotions a man makes them feel. And when your words light up her imagination, when your ideas make her lean in, when she can't stop replaying your conversations in her head, that's when you own her attention. So next time a woman says you have a sexy mind, don't downplay it. Don't smile nervously. Own it. Lean in with calm confidence and say something that deepens the spark. Because at that moment, you're not just a man she notices, you're a man she can't stop thinking about. The fourth phrase that carries far more weight than most men realize is when she says, "You make me feel calm," or "safe when I'm with you." At first, it sounds sweet, gentle, emotional, almost like she's just being polite. But the truth runs deeper. Psychology reveals that a woman only expresses this when her body and subconscious are aligning with you on a biological level. Calmness is not just comfort, it's her nervous system syncing with yours, and that sync is a precondition for desire. Here's why women are wired for dual instincts. On one hand, they seek protection, someone who brings safety and stability. On the other hand, they crave excitement, someone unpredictable, a little dangerous. When she says you make her feel calm, what she's really signaling is, your presence regulates me. You ground me. You make my world feel balanced. And when that balance hits, her guard comes down. Her attraction rises. But here's where most men go wrong. They try to amplify it with too many words. They start saying, "I'll always protect you. Don't worry. I'll never let anything happen to you." Sounds nice, but in reality, it weakens the frame. Because true safety doesn't need explanation, it's felt. A high-value man knows the power of presence. He doesn't rush to reassure. He doesn't overtalk. He simply holds his ground. He lets his calm energy do the work. Maybe he gives a slow smile. Maybe he leans back, keeps steady eye contact, says less. That's when she starts leaning in, needing more of that grounding energy. Think of it this way: when you walk into chaos and remain unshaken, you become the anchor. And women are biologically drawn to anchors, because anchors mean survival, stability, and strength. Her saying you make her feel safe is not just a compliment, it's her subconscious telling you, "I can relax around you, I can desire you." So the next time you hear this phrase, don't brush it off. Don't dilute it. Own it by holding the silence, keeping your frame, and letting her feel the calm you naturally radiate. Because when she feels safe in your presence, desire is not far behind. The fifth phrase that men often misunderstand is when a woman looks at you, maybe with a little smile, and says, "You're kind of intimidating, but in a good way." Most men panic when they hear this. They think, "Oh no, she's scared of me. I should tone it down. I should act softer." And that is exactly the wrong move. Because this phrase is not about fear, it's about excitement. It's about her subconscious saying, "I can't fully predict you." And that uncertainty turns me on. Psychology explains this as status-based uncertainty. Women are aroused by men who disrupt their sense of control. Not in a harmful way, but in a way that makes them feel they've met someone who can't be easily managed. Someone who forces them out of their comfort zone. And that tension transforms into attraction. Think about it. If a man is too predictable, too agreeable, too easy to read her emotions flatline, there's no spark, no thrill. But when she feels a little nervous around you, when she can't quite guess what you'll do next, when she feels your presence pushing against her expectations, that's when the butterflies hit. That's when desire starts brewing under the surface. Now here's the key: don't kill the tension. Don't try to explain yourself or reassure her. The moment you soften, you lose the effect. A high-value man embraces the intimidation. He lets the silence stretch, gives a knowing smile, maybe even raises an eyebrow. He doesn't apologize for the energy he brings, he amplifies it by staying grounded in it. Because here's the truth when she says you're intimidating. She's actually testing your strength. She wants to see if you'll crumble under the pressure, or if you'll stand tall, unshaken. If you hold the frame, her nervous excitement shifts into raw attraction. So the next time you hear, you're intimidating, but in a good way, don't shrink, don't explain, just own it. Control the tension. Because that moment of nervous curiosity is not rejection, it's the spark of primal seduction. And if you know how to hold it, she won't just feel intimidated, she'll feel drawn to you, helplessly. The sixth phrase that reveals far more than it seems is when she says, "You have a mysterious vibe." On the surface, this sounds like casual curiosity, but in reality, it's one of the strongest indicators of attraction. Why? Because mystery pulls investment. When she calls you mysterious, what she's really saying is, I can't fully read you, and it's driving me crazy in the best way. Psychology explains that the human brain is addicted to solving puzzles, and when a woman can't quite figure you out, her mind keeps circling back to you, replaying conversations, analysing small details, trying to decode who you are. Every unanswered question becomes emotional fuel. Every gap in knowledge makes her lean in further. Now here's the critical part: most men destroy their mystery. The moment a woman says this, they rush to explain themselves, they overshare, they confess every detail of their life story, and in doing so, they kill the very tension that made them attractive. A high-value man does the opposite. He keeps things implied, not explained. He lets his actions reveal just enough, but never the whole picture. He allows silence. He keeps his cards close. He speaks with intent instead of filling the air with words. He gives her fragments, and lets her imagination do the rest. Because here's the truth: when a man is fully explained, he becomes ordinary. But when a man is partly hidden, he becomes magnetic. Mystery isn't about being secretive for no reason. It's about showing just enough to intrigue, while keeping enough back to make her chase. So when she says you have a mysterious vibe, don't ruin it by spilling everything. Smile, change the subject. Let her stew in that curiosity, because the more she can't solve you, the more she invests, and the more she invests, the deeper her desire grows. Mystery isn't weakness, it's power. It's the silent pull that makes her want to know more, to see more, to feel more. And that's exactly what makes a woman fall, without even realizing why. The seventh and final phrase may sound playful, even teasing, but it's one of the clearest invitations you'll ever hear. When a woman looks at you with a half smile and says, "You're trouble, but the kind I don't want to avoid," she is not warning you. She is flirting with you on the deepest psychological level. Why? Because trouble in this context doesn't mean danger she wants to run from. It means the excitement she secretly craves. It's her way of admitting, you might break the rules I pretend to follow, and I kind of want you to. Psychology calls this the allure of forbidden energy. Human desire is heightened when boundaries feel like they're about to be crossed. That nervous thrill, the sense of stepping into something she shouldn't but still wants, that's exactly what this phrase reveals. She's drawn to the unpredictability, the edge, the sense that with you, things might not stay under control. But here's the mistake many men make: they panic. They deny it. They say, no, I'm not trouble, I'm a good guy. And in that moment, they kill the tension. They step out of the role she's already cast them in. A high-value man knows better. He doesn't reject the frame, he amplifies it. If she calls you trouble, lean into it with confidence. A slow grin, a calm, steady look. Maybe even respond with something like, "Only if you can't handle real energy." Short, bold, playful. That's how you keep the charge alive. Because here's the truth: when she calls you trouble, she's already invested. She's already imagining what it would feel like to lose control around you. She doesn't want safety in that moment, she wants fire. She wants chaos wrapped in strength. She wants the man who can break her rules without ever breaking his frame. So when you hear, "You're trouble, but the kind I don't want to avoid," don't run from it. Don't explain it away. Own it. Because that's not rejection. It's her subconscious pulling you closer, daring you to take the lead. So let's recap. Women don't come out and say, "I want you." They hide it. They disguise it inside compliments. And now, you know the 7 phrases that reveal everything. You're the most dangerous when you're silent. You're different from other guys. You have a sexy mind. You make me feel calm and safe around you. You're kind of intimidating, but in a good way. You have a mysterious vibe. You're trouble, but the kind I don't want to avoid. These are not just words. They're signals, tests, invitations, and the men who recognize them change the game completely. Think about it. How many times in your life have you brushed off a compliment, not realizing what it truly meant? How many doors have closed simply because you didn't understand the language of desire? Most men walk blind. But you won't anymore, because now you see what others miss. You hear the words behind the words, and once you catch these signals, you're no longer the man who chases. You become the man she obsesses over, the man she can't categorize, the man she can't forget. And here's the raw truth: attraction isn't about luck. It's about psychology, about presence, about knowing how to read the moment and control the frame. When you master this, women don't just notice you, they crave you. If you're ready to stop guessing, if you're ready to become the man women don't just like, but need, then subscribe now, because here, I reveal the secrets most men will never hear. Don't just watch and forget. Hit that subscribe button and step into the world of high-value men.